Hey everybody, what's up? It's been a hot minute, hasn't it?
It has.
It's been a minute, man. I don't think we've made a video since Friday night.
Yeah.
Because there's been so much happening. It's been amazing. But did we forget our intro?
We did.
I'm Devin LaVore, and this is
Michelle LaVore.
Coming at you with a little recap, and then a recap, and then a recap, and then a recap.
Yes.
You're about to get capped. Anyway, that was a terrible joke. Anyway, so I think really what we should start with is the word I gave on this is my week, when I was feeling like this is my week. Well, how did that turn out? Because I think it's also very helpful, particularly for me personally. It's like do unto others as you would have them do unto you, right? Now, I'm not saying that everybody can do this, but because we're in a position where we can do this, I think it's just cool to follow up.
Yes.
And be like, okay, so how did that word pan out in your life?
Yeah.
What happened? What was your week about? What do you mean this was my week? How did that work out? Well, for us, we were getting major personal breakthrough through that week.
Yeah.
It was we just leave that there because that could be a whole series of videos. Just trust us. That breakthrough was major. Anyway, it was really major. I guess it had a sense of like finality to it.
Yeah.
It had a sense of like, okay, you got an A- on this paper. What, I got an A-? What? Well, you still need to work on this and work on that. But trust me, you did so great. You're going to do fine. Go ahead and go. You graduate. You go ahead and have fun. Yeah. Don't worry about that minus. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's still an A, okay? And so there was just so much personal breakthrough going on. And it was like there was just this sense of exit that week. And then we got to Saturday, and we just had this sense of like, we are about to get out of here. We are about to get out of here because our air conditioner that week started leaking everywhere. And we just had this sense of like this, because we stayed at this.
Time to go.
Yeah. Because we stayed at that one place, the Quality Inn, and we stayed there for financial reasons. And it was just like, and I prayed and I was just like, Lord, and I was like, I don't want to go back there, but we will if that's going to be good stewardship and wisdom and all that stuff. And he was like, no, what you're looking for is out there. You just got to go look for it. Mm-hmm. And that was the end of our stay at Quality Inn. Well, we've been at the Baymont Inn for over a month. Yeah. And I just felt like God was like, it is time to get up and go, man. Just go. Don't stay in one place because of the money. Yeah. And that's really a lot of the breakthrough. I was like, don't stay because of the money. Yeah. It's like, don't you realize what you're getting ready to go into? You need to act like it, you know? Yeah. And it was just, and a lot of the breakthrough was on that level, right? And there was some communication breakthrough and stuff like that. It was awesome. But basically, the air conditioner was busting. They were wanting to put us in a room that had a double bed, and we're like, no, this is not a good room. And we can't do doubles. We need at least double queens like that back there. And then they wanted to put us in another room. And it was like, in their system, it's registered as a double queen. It's 2 queen beds in this room. We went in there right away. I was like, these are double beds. And each time I went into both rooms, you know, and these were 2 separate occasions, like with hours apart from each other. I just got this sense of like, no, this is not it. This is not it. It's time to get going. I'm like, okay. And it was weird because I had to kind of adjust myself. I'm like, I'm not used to this anymore because we've been here for like over a month. Yeah. But then eventually things just started, you know, the nest was being stirred up very quickly and easily. And we just needed to hear it and sense it. And then we were like, all right, we got to get out of here. It's time to fly the coop. And I feel like we're not going back there again. Nope. You know, we're just not going back there again. I mean, it only gets better from here. We're just giving you the beginning. We're just giving you Saturday.
Yeah. And so basically Sunday became a moving day. Yep. We ended up having to leave from the Baymont, and we actually are back at one of the hotels we stayed in before, and it's actually a room we called to see if they had this particular room available because it has 2 windows, lots of light, and we really liked it. It's
our favorite hotel room honestly, of all our journey.
It was that we had stayed here, and when we had left, I think we were going back to the Baymont, and like when we first went back to Baymont, I was like, man, I don't want to because I really like that room. I like this location is awesome, but we were just like, we can't go. But so we're back here, And, God just totally worked it out. We got an amazing deal on the hotel. Deal. And so it's just like, and it feels good to be back here. Yeah. But so we moved on Sunday, which is pretty much why Sunday was out as far as videos, because it was moving day.
That was not going to happen.
It's amazing how quickly you can accumulate things, because we were in another place for a month. And so you just get like little things here and there. And I'm like, man, we got to downsize again.
Yeah, you get like books here, little trinkets here. And
yeah.
That's on sale for $10. Let's get it. Alaya would love it.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow.
Especially when they...
We've got a lot of trinkets.
I know.
Right now.
Because we keep taking, you have to
little dollar store type general, you know what I mean? It's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
This is adding up.
Yeah. So it was just kind of funny. And, but we came here, and honestly for me, that was like, God is just... He's like, all right, I'm stretching you. You got to get out of the mindset that because we are going into something new. And so it was like, for me, it was a stretch, because I was just like, man, Lord, I don't know if we can do this, this other hotel. I mean, it's a little bit more expensive, but I don't know. And then like we end up calling, we get a great deal. And it was just like, but God is like, no, I'm telling you, it's time to go. It's time to leave this place.
Yeah.
And so we did that. And it was just like, all right, God's moving. He's doing something different.
Yeah.
And so it was just really cool. So we ended up coming here on Sunday.
Yep.
And
it was really cool. I want to wrap up Saturday, because Saturday was the last day of This Is My Week.
Yes.
Right? And on that day, here, let me read the scripture. On that morning, it was like, basically what happened. What was the gist of what happened? It was like God was ending. He was ending that. He's ending our wilderness time.
Yes.
I'm serious. I understand, like, it doesn't appear that way. But it's like I said last week, God gave us that word of like, from White Dove Ministries, just the description I read, and he highlighted that to me so much, and it was just like, hey, you need to look at this. This is real. This is reality right here. And it was like, you can look at things the way they appear, or you can see them for what they really are.
Yeah.
And what they really are is that our wilderness came to an end last week.
Yeah.
Really. It came to an end. Saturday was the last day, because, of course, we were expecting a certain something to happen. Of course, I don't think you can escape it. I think I've said it on 300 different videos. Yes, I've got twice as much on my YouTube channel. Go check it out. Oh, that would take a long time. Anyway, but in 1 Peter 1, verse 13, this is what we got on Saturday morning.
Yeah.
It was, so brace up your minds, be sober, circumspect, morally alert, set your hope wholly and unchangeably on the grace, divine favor, that is coming to you when Jesus Christ is revealed. Now, right away, it was like, set your hope wholly and unchangeably on the grace that is coming to you. End right there. That's what really stuck out to me. God was like, set your mind and your hope and everything unchangeably on that. Unchangeably, meaning do not change, do not move from it. It is going to happen, and it is coming. And it was just a sense of like, hey, it's coming. It's like, no, you didn't get like what you wanted this week, but look at what happened this week. Yeah. This absolutely was your week, because your wilderness time is over.
Yeah.
And here's the test. Well, Lord, it doesn't appear that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, it doesn't appear that way. And it's like, okay, I hear you. But for us, we were like, no, because we really felt it.
Yeah.
It was from the Lord, that word. And so we're like, okay, that's cool. We're going to set our mind on it, because you gave us that 40-40 before, that 40-40 number. That's what was in my bank account. And then you gave us the 1,000. That was all during the This Is My Week part. Mm-hmm. God was giving that to me early, saying, hey, you're going out of this and you're going into this.
Yeah.
And then so Sunday, so then we go, so basically we're ending that we're ending that season, going into a new season,
mm-hmm.
but the phases thing is different, right? Because that's talking about something different. I was gonna talk about the phases, but let's not do that just yet.
Yeah.
So I feel like we entered into the new on Sunday, which is why we moved on Sunday, because we were gonna think, well, we got this hotel room until Monday morning. We can just stay here, but we really felt like the Lord was like, no, move today.
Yeah.
Move tonight. Get something tonight. Oh, but Lord, that's going to cost even more money. Oh, but stop doing that. Mm-hmm. Let's just do what the Lord says, Yeah.
And it really was. It was good because, it's just the way that, I don't know, just our schedules are right now and just everything. It was like, it makes sense. Like
our schedules are so off.
And
we should tell them about the clocks.
Yeah, we should. So, so basically.
That's not even on the notes.
Something that God's been doing is that in our last place at the Baymont,
for over a month,
the clock itself didn't actually work when we went in there.
Yeah, the Baymont Inn clock.
Yeah, the clock on there. Obviously, the computer clock works and all that, but there was no alarm clock. Basically,
there was no clock that you could just look to at any given moment and say, "Oh, that's what time it is," without having to wiggle a mouse or open up your phone and click a button or something like that.
And we ended up just putting the clock away. And then when we got here, the same thing. The clock here didn't work. And we just
like, what is going
felt
on?
Like God was just, and honestly, this last month, our schedule has just been so crazy with sleeping. I mean, literally, there are nights we don't get to bed until 2 or 4 in the morning because this guy who's sleeping right now is.
Can we get a shot of him? Oh, there's his head.
There's his head.
There's his head. I bounced him, and I was just like, babe, we should just do the video
with him
because if I put him down, he's gonna sleep shorter.
Yeah. And
just leave him right here.
It's like he will fall asleep for like an hour or 2 and then wakes up and is like wide
and he's
awake.
Up for like 4 hours. He was getting up at 1:15.
And then
we were like, no. He stay up till 4.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is the Lord. We realized later on, this is the Lord.
But it's just been like crazy. But we feel like God has really been, for the last month, basically, has just been like, hey, you can throw time and your schedule out the window.
Yep.
And it's really about God and His schedule and His time and what He wants to do when He wants to do it. And to just...
Little interruption there.
Yeah.
Wasn't my fault. Praise the Lord. Anyway, go ahead.
But just that, we're on God's time and God's schedule, and there's no need to feel guilty about when you're waking up, going to bed. Like, all of those things, you can feel pressure of like, man,
it's supposed to be this way and all that.
They need to be on, this, that, and it's like, God's like, just throw that out the window. You are on my time schedule and just doing what I want you to do. And it's like, we've had a lot of, like, even now, we're doing this video. It's almost midnight.
Late in the midnight hour.
And it's like, well, this is the time
God's going to turn it around.
Yeah, this is the time that we have to do it. And so it's just like, all right, God has us up in these midnight hours, then we're going to be up. We're going to be just...
You're like, Lord, how's it going? What's up?
Yeah.
How you doing?
Yeah. And it's like, God knows our schedule. God's not, He's not going, it's 7 a.m. You should have been
And
up.
the whole point is He's been covertly doing that.
Yes.
Doing the schedule. Like, get rid of the schedule. Get rid of the clock. Get rid of your idea about money and all. They're just zeros to me. They're just zeros. Uh-oh. He might need a feeding. We'll be back. Well, here we are.
We're back.
Switched.
Switch places.
What's different in this picture than the previous picture? Can you spot 6 changes? I'm just kidding.
But so as I was saying with the timing, it's just that God is like, hey, I want to throw this out. So I would just challenge you guys to just bring it before the Lord and just say, like, Lord, are you stretching me to see beyond the time and the schedule and
should be
and just kind of see what He has to say about that, because He really has been moving in that direction with us of just like, hey, forget about the should-be's and wins and where's and why's and how's. So
yeah, because even when it comes to a prophetic word, even something like, this is my week, you don't really know what's going on until you get to the end of it. And you go, oh, that's what you were saying.
Yeah.
And it really was a pivotal move in the direction of the momentum of things and everything. It was just great. Yeah. It was a good week. And you are really shiny. The glory of the Lord has risen upon you.
So bright. I don't know why.
It's this computer screen's light. That's what it is. Whatever. You're gorgeous. Don't even try it.
Thanks.
Anyway, so, but the cool thing about some of the cool things that happened to us on Sunday, God just gave us sign after sign after sign.
Yeah.
That we actually had entered into a new place.
Yeah.
And I really feel like, because God gave me that word a while ago, it's like, you're about to be seated. I feel like Sunday was the seating. And we literally found our place in a seat at a dinner table. And it was provided for us to be able to eat stuff like, this is way too much. Mm-hmm. We can't afford it. Oh, man, you better get that out your mouth. I'm going to tell you that right now, because that is not the Lord. And I remember hearing a word from somebody. I forget who it was. I don't even remember where to reference it or anything like that. But he was like, let me give you a list of things that come out of Christians' mouths that hinder their blessing, hinder their provision, hinder their prosperity. And I can't afford that was one of them. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, I don't have the money for that. Oh, I don't have. And it was just like, and it was so funny because the Lord just totally provided for us the money to do this. And it was like, wow, we'll just do it, because it was just awesome. And it was just a sign. I don't want to get too detailed into it, but it was just like a sign. And I was just going, Lord, this is amazing. And God was like, you can either receive it with thanksgiving and faith, or you can struggle. Yeah. And I was like, I'm receiving it. Thank you, Jesus. Pass the dinner rolls. Yeah. Anyway, but seriously, and I felt like the Lord was like, welcome to the new normal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This is what your life is getting ready to be like. I don't want to steal your thunder. You want to talk about the toe and the oil thing?
Yeah. So that same night we got back and we were just talking about everything, and I just was
after dinner?
Yeah, after dinner, and we were just kind of talking through and processing, like, wow, what is God doing? Yeah. And I had this, I got this picture, an image in my head of me being dipped, and my toe was being dipped into oil. And it was super significant because back in November 2017, Devin had gotten this vision of where I was being dipped into oil up to my waist. And that was really important because right before that was a picture of me being in concrete up to my waist. And it specifically had to do with the way that I related to finances and how God has, just all the financial aspects of my life. Mm-hmm. And he had been chipping away and just hitting this concrete block that was around me until it came and broke apart. But there were still like these shards that were in my legs.
And they were just like little, it was almost like great big, I don't know, pimples or something, or boils that just couldn't be chipped off. Yeah. It was like, you need something special for that. Yeah. So when God picked you up, you were like a Barbie doll. He just grabbed you. He's like, oh, I finally got you out of that thing. All right, I'm going to pick you up. And your legs were completely atrophied. Mm-hmm. And you couldn't use them. And he just set you in the oil,
and it was like all those pieces that couldn't be broken off were just dissolved.
Yeah, they dissolved into nothing, like really quick. Yeah. I mean, it was rapid dissolving.
And then my legs became strong. And when he took me out...
I'm talking CrossFit strong, okay?
And then so when he took me out, I was able to walk.
Yeah, and you walked well. And your legs were just dripping with oil, Ryan Lestrange just came out a word about dripping with oil anyway.
Yes, is a really good word. But, and so it was so significant.
So
because
that night in prayer.
That night in prayer, God was just like, I'm dipping your toes. And it's like, and it was just like, it's just the start. Like, it's not like he's just going to dangle me. No, he's starting to put me into the oil. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, wow. Well,
because that's what all day felt like.
Yes.
A dipping of the toe into the oil for our whole family.
Yeah.
Because we're staying here in this new hotel room, but it's like, it is literally the exact one we wanted.
Yeah.
You know, it's our favorite one of all the ones that we've ever stayed at.
Yeah.
For reasons we've already mentioned, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And you take these long breaks and you come back and you go, did we talk about that already? I don't remember. But
yes.
So it was like a lot of desires being fulfilled, like surprises, more divine surprises.
Yeah.
And but all of them were actually purposes of God.
Yes.
They were signs of God saying, hey, look at this. All the while we're feeling it in our spirit, even our kids, like, whoa, something's different. Even our daughter's been prophesying lately.
Yes.
This is just a progression. Things are just going to keep progressing from here and all that stuff. I'm just like, wow, little 7-year-old prophesying, And I'm just like, because she's feeling it. She's very spiritually sensitive and she's feeling the progression of things. And I'm just like, wow. So it's like, the Lord gave me that word about, you're about to be seated, and I feel like Sunday was the seating point. We were seated, and then there's more to that later on. But let's move on to Monday. What happened Monday?
So Monday again, God was continuing to just speak on just the new mindset, and for me, and just a very real way was I was giving Annalise her shower, and we have the soap that we use, and it was just like, she was like, Mom, can I have some bubbles? I'm like, okay, I could give her some, but man, this stuff can be expensive, I don't want to like use it all up.
Yeah.
And so I just said no, like not today. And
he's sleeping.
But then I really felt like God was just kind of addressing me in my mind of just like, why not?
Yeah. Why are you saying no?
Why am I saying no? And I was just like, because it's expensive. Like this stuff, it's really nice and I love it, but I don't want to be.
It's $15 whole for 2 big bottles. It's expensive, man.
I know.
It's costly.
But I'm just like, no, I don't want to like waste it, and I just felt like God was like, no, this is what you need to get rid of, this mindset of like, you're saying no because you can't afford something. And so.
And that's not true.
And it's not true.
Yeah. Don't say I can't afford it.
And so I was just like, all right, here's some bubbles. And so I gave her some bubbles. But I was like, wow, even this, like, it seems so insignificant. But it's like, it really isn't. It's like, this is, like, God is saying, like, every little detail of your life, like, just surrender it over to me. Because you need to think about why you're doing what you're doing. Why are you motivated in certain areas? And it was like, whoa, this is so good. And it just matched with what God had already been speaking to us about. And so that was just one of the things that really came out again on Monday, connected in with the whole dipping into the oil. And I think that's really part of that process. It's like, it's that really refining, because it's getting rid of all of those little shards. It's like, no, you're not. I mean,
there was not even
like
any, because your legs, like, it had that like gray dust on it and everything. I mean, nothing. Yeah. It was like glistening, oily legs. I mean, they were thick.
Yeah.
Like nice. And I'm just like, wow, God's not just going to restore you, man. He's going to give you like superpowers or something.
Awesome.
Someone should write a story about that. But anyway. But so Monday was just like, it was just a greater continuation of what he started on Sunday to confirm, because 2 is the second day, so 2 is just confirming to us like, yes, you are in the new. and and there's really just cool things happening that are going to catapult us into the next phase of our life, because in regards to the things that we're dealing with as far as the opportunity that has opened up to us, that we're kind of waiting for it to really pan out, we feel like we've been in a phase 1 with that, and
really it felt like God kind of
since June 14th basically
gave me that tonight, really, of just like phase 1 really has been a lot of relational development,
foundational stuff,
and just very, very important and needed before he could proceed with what he's doing with us. And I really believe, like, on Sunday we've entered into the phase 2 of that. And I really believe the phase 2 is going into the acquisition of the home, and it really is, going after that, and just even getting more. I think we said before we're going to be able to go out to where the main ministry is located, and really get to see hands-on everything that they're doing. And so that I feel like that's just a time where God's going to really sow into our hearts a lot. And so it's like that's really like part of the phase 2 that's going to be happening and take place.
And that's going to be, I believe that's going to be, a great, I believe this phase 2 is where the summer harvest begins. That's where it happens.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was happening before this, but it was like, no, it's another prophetic word that God's like, no, it's going to happen this summer, but it's like you just don't know the exact date or time. You just can't, and I think even when you get words like, this is my week, stuff can still just slip in there. It can. Expectations and hopes and desires can slip in, but it's like, once you really find out what God's doing during that week, and you really find out, yes, this was a pivotal week, this was a monumental week, we really are crossing out of one thing into another. It may not appear that way, but we really have. In the spirit we have. And so now it's just going to continue to grow and blossom and bear fruit. It's just going to be awesome. And so why don't we just fast forward to today? Today was really, really cool. There's just been so many cool things we would love to share. We're not sharing even with you guys everything that's on our notes here, because it's just, there's been so much.
Just so much. And we know that, just because it's been so many days, but but today has been really cool. Just kind of, why don't you share what you got with
Prophet Chip Gaines?
Yes.
Okay, so I got a word today from Prophet Chip Gaines from Fixer Upper, I would love for him to watch this video just to hear his name anyway, like he cares. Anyway, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Fixer Upper, but a lot of people probably are, but there's some who aren't. But basically they're
TV show.
They're a TV show, then they go around and renovate homes in Waco, Texas. Right? They're really super popular. And there's so much significance to that TV show in regards to how God's spoken to us about our lives. And that's what you're going to be doing in the spirit.
Yes.
That's what you're going to be doing in people's hearts and in people's lives. You are literally going to be Chip and Joanna Gaines in the spirit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm signing up for that. And we literally are getting ready to sign up for that.
Yes.
But so one of the things that they do, they renovate the house, and they come up with these great big boards
with a picture of the old house on it.
But it's cut in half.
Yeah.
And Chip's on one end and Joanna's on the other end, and they pull it apart. That's like the before, and then they pull it apart, and the after is the actual house. Oh, Lord. Whoa, did you hear what I said? Anyway, that's a whole nother video we can do right there. Anyway, the after is the is the actual house. And so right now, today, we just had it on as background noise. It was literally just background noise. And we're just doing stuff. And I stopped at this exact moment, and I watched what was going on. And Chip, he's just a fun-loving guy. Just always full of jokes and just cool dude. But in this moment, he got kind of serious with the person because she's standing there at the before picture. And he was like, he said, this is for real. We're getting ready to see your house. And I just got this sense of like, whoa, man, she must have been through some stuff. And I asked you about it. I was like, what was going on in this episode? Because I'd never seen Chip get like that serious with someone. Like, this is like, I just felt like it was the Lord. Because this is how God speaks to me. It was like the Lord saying, listen, this is real. We're getting ready to see your house. And I was like, whoa, that's awesome. And then they pulled back the thing to show the house that they had renovated, and it reminded me of the vision that God gave me of all of us going up on a stage in front of this curtain. And then God pulls back this curtain, and there's the house we've been believing for. Boom. Right there. And I'm like, whoa. So that was really cool. And then, like I said before, God gave me that word, we're about to be seated.
Yes.
And I felt like Sunday we were seated, and we were literally seated. It was like a prophetic sign, like we were actually seated at a banquet table, basically.
Yeah.
And God was like, whoa, get ready for this to be your life. And the food was amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, Cracker Barrel, but bye-bye. So long. Bye-bye. Anyway, I mean, this is like my new favorite place right now. Anyway, but I felt like Sunday was like, you have been seated. And then tonight, I was getting ready to pray. And now you can make up stuff to pray if you want because you feel pressured to pray, or, oh, it's my turn to pray. I need to come up with something. That's a real pressure. Yeah. That's a real pressure in Christian circles because you don't want to be like, oh, I don't really have anything to pray, or I'm just kind of processing. I know it's my turn, but I don't care about that stuff. I've learned to just not care. And I got to that place in my prayer time tonight, and I'm with my family. There's just no safer place, or there shouldn't be. But for me, there's just no safer place. And I'm just like sitting there going, I should be praying. Still, that pressure's on me. Like, I'm supposed to be praying. I should probably be praying. Yeah. But I was just like, no, I'm not going to do that. I've just learned not to do that. And so in the midst of doing that, or rather not doing that, the Lord gave me this word. And it just kind of came to me, Master of Ceremonies. And I'm like, it was just weird to me because I wasn't thinking banquet or anything like that at the moment that he said it. But then I was reminded, like, oh my gosh, we're about to be seated. And we are seated, actually. And now here's the Master of Ceremonies. And the Master of Ceremonies was Jesus himself. Yeah. Usually the MC is somebody who's really not anybody important. They're kind of like a concierge or somebody that facilitates things. But that's exactly what Jesus is in our lives and in the visions that we have that God's given to scattered abroad throughout the earth. He is the concierge. He is the Master of Ceremonies. And I just felt like he was just like this. He was like, let the festivities begin, Yes. And I was like, okay, I was not expecting that. Wasn't even going to pray in that direction. Yeah. I was probably going to pray some enduring, release the Lord, something, I don't know. Yeah. Something normal. But God's like, let the festivities begin. Because a Master of Ceremonies is also known as an announcer. They announce things. And I felt like the Lord was that person. And he said, I am getting ready to, the festivities are getting ready to begin. Yes. And angels are getting ready to come out to those who have been seated, to those who have been positioned, to those who have been put in their place. The angels are getting ready to come out and start serving promises, serving desires fulfilled, serving, satisfying the hungry soul. You can look that up in Psalm 103 verse 5, Psalm 107 verse 9, and we're just going to be feasting. It's going to be the fulfillment of that vision I had so long ago. Yeah. And Jesus said to me tonight, as we were communicating with someone, he said, Devin, I'm going to be the last one to sit down. He said, I'm the Master of Ceremonies, but I'm going to be the last one to sit down. Once you all have been served, I'm going to take my seat at the head of the table. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to enjoy what you guys are doing. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I really hope you guys get that. I really hope someone feels that and is encouraged by that. Particularly those of you who feel maybe like last week wasn't your week. I tell you what, last week was our week, but it was one of the harder weeks. For whatever reason. I mean, there was an attack almost every day.
Gosh, yeah.
I mean, it was like crazy. I'm like, what in the world is going on? And then Lana Vosser came out with that word, her most recent word. Every sentence resonated. So I can't say, oh, this really stood out to me. The whole word stood out to me. And I was like, wow, she always comes out with a word at the right moment, at the right time that really ministers to what's really going on. So it's like, yeah, maybe some people could feel like they were knocked out of position or something last week or whatever. But it's like, listen, man, I was just blown away because it was like, the Lord is like, I'm getting ready to do this.
Yeah.
You know? And it can be stingy. It can be stinging to hear something like that.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh gosh, another sign, another encouragement, another I'm done. It's like I quit. Yeah. I can't. I don't want to hear this stuff anymore.
Yeah.
But it's
and
like
I was really there actually on Saturday. I think it was Saturday morning.
Oh, before we moved here?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure it was Saturday morning because I was just really struggling. Like, Lord, when are things going to happen? And I actually prayed. I was like, Lord, why can you please just give me understanding as to, because I don't get this prophetic thing. I just don't. Because
Saturday morning, that's when we got the word set your hope.
Yes.
And you were like, oh, that's God code for this is just going to take a lot longer.
Yep.
I do remember now.
We had a long talk.
That is so hilarious.
And I was just like, Lord, I want to understand like what you are saying. What you are saying when it comes to prophetic words and like why in the world do you tell us things so far in advance and then we think, oh, it's coming out right now. It's going to happen. And then we're disappointed. And I felt like God, he actually gave me some clarity. I think it was like 2 days later as Devin was talking, because I feel like is a really good example of like prophecy. So it was just like with movies, when they're coming out with a movie, you start to see trailers for it way far in advance before the actual movie comes out. Unless you're dealing with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, then you know what they're coming out with in 2024. Yeah. Yeah. So it's like you're already seeing, ooh, what's coming, and they get you prepared. They build this excitement in you for what's to come. Hey, guess what? This movie is coming. It's going to be awesome. You're going to love it. Go and see it. You know, all this stuff. They can even throw parties before the movie is coming out. And it's all to build excitement so that they can get the most amount of people to the theaters when it does come out. Yeah. And it's like... And the only difference there is an actual date. There is. Now, for your promise and what God's doing in your life, we made a video a long time ago. There's a date for what God's going to do for you. You know, and we were saying not many days from now, but that was like 10 months ago. I was like, well, we must have blew that one. But anyway, but it did. It had a sense of not many days from now. You know, and I mean, it was like a couple months after that, we actually moved to Nashville. So, but anyway, the point is, there is a date, but it's like in the spirit, we actually don't know when the release of the thing is coming out. Yes. And that's honestly what we're waiting for right now. Yeah. We don't know when the release of the thing we need is going to come out. Yeah. We don't. But we know that it's coming out. Yeah. Yeah, and so... Because there's been a lot of trailers called prophetic words. Yes, and signs and wonders. Of trailers. And so I was just thinking about that, and it's like, wow, you know, God, he did that even with Jesus. Literally, Genesis, I don't know what's the first verse, but as soon as God, he prophesied in Genesis, right after the fall... Chapter 3. That Jesus was coming. Yep. And it's like... And of course, Jesus is like... the greatest fulfillment of prophecy, but just look in the Bible. There's still some stuff that hasn't. Many prophecies have pertained to the birth and death of Jesus, but also to his return. I know, and it's right? Like it's like, oh my gosh, like God is setting in our hearts the desire and just this longing for Jesus to return, and he's building that, he's stirring that in us. And so
not just for him to come the first time.
Yeah. And so it's like he does that even in our own lives. He starts to build excitement, and I think that the hard part for us is like you hear something and it's like, oh, right now?
It's like, oh, that movie's coming out this weekend. Yes, I saw a trailer for it. Yes.
It's like, actually, no, it might be
like a year from now.
A year, 2 years, 10 years, who knows how long. But I think the important thing, though, when it comes to prophecy is to just agree with the Spirit of God.
Yes.
And say yes and amen and allow him to build that excitement in you. And to just be encouraged by it. And I think sometimes it is difficult to allow yourself to be encouraged.
It is difficult to allow yourself to be encouraged for the 328th time.
Yes.
You know yes. And it's like, oh my gosh, I want this movie to come out. I remember when The Last Airbender first was being, like, oh, M. Night Shyamalan's going to do this, The Last Airbender. And I saw just a little brief something about it. And I was like, oh, that's going to be amazing. Next summer. And I was like, it's already this summer. I'm going to have to wait an entire year for this thing? And why is that a problem? Why is that such a big deal? Because I received that seed that they implanted in my heart. I received it and I protected it. And I was just like, yeah, I'll wait. You know what I mean? Because I wanted it. I wanted to see that movie. Yeah. And it's the same thing with a prophetic word over here, like what God is saying I'm going to do. And God is so kind and so gracious that he gives you prophetic signs and visions to let you know even where you're at in the timeline. Yeah. He's smart. He's not going to give you the date. Yeah. He's not.
No.
He's not going to give you the date. I mean, unless he gives you the date. But, because there's certain things that God has done in the past a lot through people to say, hey, this is the date of this, that, and the other thing. But I think for the bigger things of life, he just doesn't. Yeah. He just likes to let you walk with him and trust him fully and take him at his word. And his word is the only thing you need.
Yeah.
You don't even need a sign and a wonder. And I think if you don't need him, he gives you them all the more.
Yeah.
I know that sounds weird, but he does.
Well,
because it's like, oh yeah, okay, Lord, we hear you. We believe it. We're good. And then he just gives us. I mean, I think Sunday was just a day of signs. And of like, hey, told you. Hey, see? Hey, I'm giving you a sign. This is where you're going. You know? And I'm just like, well, I am ready to go there, Lord.
Yes.
So I think that's it. I think we're good.
I think so.
Your face is shiny enough. Your face is so shiny. It's hilarious. Your face is so shiny. Little Moana humor there. Yeah. Anyway, so I was really stoked by the Chip Gaines thing. This is for real. We're getting ready to see your house. Jesus appearing as the master of ceremonies. It was just really cool, and I love that little word of wisdom about the prophecy is like a movie trailer, because even studios, they're not going to tell you a month before the movie comes out because they're not going to get enough people interested, And
I think, that's what I wanted to say with that too, is God, he wants his tables full.
He does.
He doesn't want it, there's a scripture or a passage that Jesus talked about where there was basically a banquet happening, he invited all these guests, and then they end up not coming. And so he's like, all right, we'll just go out and gather people. And because he wanted
the sons of the kingdom didn't come.
Yeah, the sons of the kingdom didn't come. So he
Church folk didn't show up.
He went out.
So he went and got lost folk.
Found people.
No, I don't want to edit this. This is what happens. I just want you guys to see. This is what happens. It is 12:51 a.m. right now, and we got 2 of them up now.
Yeah, but I don't.
This is the Lord.
At least she needs to go to the bathroom. I think she needs to.
Oh, maybe.
I don't think she's really awake. I think she's doing her sleepwalky thing.
Hey, what's your name? What's her name?
She needs to go to the bathroom.
Come on, let's go pee-pee. So that was just a little snippet of our throughout the clocks, throughout the schedule thing. And then look, no Elijah. Poof, he's gone. But anyway, I hope you guys were blessed by that. And again, guys, we just so thank you for your support and your emails and all that stuff. We really cannot get to them all. Yeah. We can't. So much of our life is just taken up by just really being with the Lord and being with our family, and then kind of we try to do the videos as much as we can, but then also trying to put on top of that answering every email and the comments and all that we can't do it. Yeah. But we just want you guys to know we appreciate them, and we do read the comments. Yeah, we do. If there's a negative comment or some sort of extra spiritual weirdo comment or anything like that, we read it, and then we promptly block the person who wrote it. Yeah. Oh, you guys are just not listening to it. That's right. We're not listening to you. Yeah. Because for obvious reasons. But we just appreciate all of you guys who have been with us for even a short time or a long time. Yeah. You know, we appreciate every one of you guys, and we know that what God is doing to us, He's doing to other people. Yeah. And I believe that's why we're here. I feel like we're just like spiritual reporters. We're like Kingdom of God reporters. Yes. But we're reporting on what God's actually doing in our life so that it can resonate to other people. And like, oh, that's it. That's it. Yes. That's what God's doing. That's what God's saying. Yes. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we just want to be an encouragement to you guys. So just to let you know. And, also, we appreciate the support, the continued support until this thing really finalizes and gets going, until we can say, I'm serious, I'm going to go through every video and take out the PayPal on every video. That's going to be a lot of videos. That's okay. I'm going to have time to do it. Yeah. But because we're going to need to do that because we don't want people to keep giving to us. But until that comes around, feel free to click it on and do what you can to help us out until we get across that goal line, so to speak. And anything else I'm missing?
I don't think so.
These end comments. Yeah, no, I think only 7 people are gonna get this far. So.
No, but we just really appreciate all of you. Of course. And we just pray that God just blesses you in your life. And, man. We will continue to keep you updated.
Master of ceremonies coming at you.
Yes. So until next time, guys, we will see you later.
That movie called Your Promise is coming out. Yes. To a life near you, particularly your own. Yes. You've got to believe that. So, anyway.
All right.
Bye, guys.
See you later.